biggest concerns that people have when considering a management position are the number of hours expected to work and dealing with staff disciplinary actions. In this segment, we'll deal with important item number 1. Please see the human resource section for how to deal comfortably with important item number 2. Management positions are typically salaried jobs. Side note, I actually did some investigation as to why management jobs were paid by a salary instead of hourly. Turns out, back in the industrial age, managers started to get paid as a salary because their work couldn't be measured in terms of piecework versus the employees who were assembling things or manufacturing items or whatnot. I read it on the internet, so it must be true. Anyway, the obvious conclusion when hearing about a salary position is, number 1, salary is short for you don't get paid overtime. And number 2, the obvious assumption is you're expected to work much more than 40 hours a week. The truth is, it's pretty easy to spend 50 plus hours a week in a salaried position. You're never done as a manager. There's always something that you can do. There's some task or job or project, and before you know it, you've sunk a 10-hour day in and didn't even know it. That's why it's up to senior leadership to pay particular attention into how many hours a manager puts in. Here's the expectation I set up with my managers. Here's the zone chart outline for my expectations. As you can see, I expect about 80% of the time my managers to work between 40 and 45 hours a week. That's about an 8 to an 8.5 hour day. So you come in around 7:30 or 8 and you leave in between 4 and 4:30. I want most days to be like that. That's why I call it the green zone. The yellow zone is a 50-hour week. I get concerned when managers land in this zone. 50 hours a week really takes its toll. That's 5 10-hour days in a row. Weeks like that happen, but they should be rare. 10% of the time or less. So that's once every 2 months or so. They will work 50-hour weeks. That's going to happen. Some early or late meetings, federal inspections or state inspections, things like that are going to come up, but again, it should be pretty rare. I get very concerned when managers land in the red zone. 55 hours a week is 5 12-hour days in a row. We would never schedule a staff member 5 12-hour days in a row. When you work at 12, you really can't do anything except go home and sleep. It is dangerous for a manager to stay in the red zone. Managers that stay in the red zone get burned out, or worse yet, they become ineffective due to exhaustion. The departments really suffer. Managers that spend a lot of time in the red zone either have too many job responsibilities or they suffer from poor time management habits.
New manager warning.
The first year in any new job is the hardest. Everything takes longer because the manager is learning the steps involved in completing every little task. In my first year as a manager, it took me 45 minutes once to order a stapler. It sounds ridiculous, but I didn't know what form to use, I didn't know who to call or what to do, spent half my time running around trying to figure that out. In the second year, it took me 45 seconds. So when starting a new job, the manager and senior administration need to pay particular attention to how much time that manager is spending at work. Now how about some homework? Think about the number of hours you put in on an average week. If it's over 45 hours a week, challenge yourself to make a list of things you could do to either streamline or change so that you can keep your average work week to 40 to 45 hours. Successful companies are built with successful managers. Now let's get out there and make the difference.